If he wants to be taken seriously, though, as a boxer, he's got to fight somebody that's actually a boxer.
Yeah, right.
That's in his still, not necessarily, he ain't got to be in his prime, but he's got to be still active and maybe ranked if he wants to be taken seriously as a boxer, which he says he wants to be taken seriously as a boxer.
Do you care, Chris? Do you care? Jason, do you care? If you're getting the amount of money that this guy is generating, he's kind of created his own little niche. I don't know that he cares to be thought of as a real boxer.
But here's the thing, TJ. Now, he's a great businessman.
Question.
Like, because he's getting paid. Like, he's offering people tens of millions of dollars. If he's got that much money to give out, what's he bringing in? So,
no, I get it. Like, he's a brilliant businessman. But he's also saying he wants to be considered a legitimate boxer. You can't. You're a showman. It's like you do the WWE, right? Mm-hmm. You know it's a showman. You know it's not fake, but it's scripted, right? Yeah. You already know the outcome, pretty much. With Jake Paul, you kind of know, okay, I can pick and choose, matchmaker and all that. It's a circus, more so than a legitimate boxing match.
The only actual boxer he's fought beat him soundedly.
Fury,
so
yeah.
I don't think that's what he's really interested in. And then he goes out there and he's calling out Canelo Alvarez. Like, what are you trying to do, bro?
Yeah.
That's a death wish right there.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. But, that's what I'm saying. But don't pretend that just be what you are. People love to hate you. Pretty much.
But he's kind of the biggest thing in boxing right now.
And that's a shame.
Sadly. That's
a shame. As a guy who loves the sport of boxing, boxing used to be an event. Boxing used to be an attraction. Now boxing is a circus. When the biggest event in boxing is a YouTuber fighting a 58-year-old former champion who's 60 years old, when that's the biggest boxing event of the year, that lets you know the state of boxing. That lets you know why UFC is taking over when it comes to combat sports. Because there is no draw. There's no Muhammad Ali. There's no Mike Tyson in his prime. There's no Floyd Mayweather. You got guys like Tank that's out there.
Canelo and Tank.
Tank, Canelo, but they're not household names. You got Haney. You got my man Bud Crawford. You got guys who are great boxers, but you don't have the household name that crosses over the Sugar Ray Leonards of the world.
Canelo's not a crossover?
No, he's not a crossover. Really? Canelo could walk down the street in L.A. and
I don't believe that.
90% of the people would not know who he is. I guarantee you that.
Here in Los Angeles? No.
Among the Mexican community, they would know him, obviously. I'm saying there's a lot of boxing fans out there. If you're a boxing fan, you love the state of boxing. Don't get me wrong. I'm talking about, but boxing used to be an event. The fight. It wasn't just a boxing match. It was, you're going to get the fight. If somebody says you're going to get the fight, you knew exactly what you were talking about because you had stars in the sport of boxing that crossed over that people wanted to go. You had your house parties. You had your people over to watch the pay-per-view, to watch the undercard. It was a party. It was an event. You don't do that now. We did that for Mike Tyson and Jake Paul on Netflix.
People do it for UFC now.
They do it for UFC now. Yeah. When John Jones fights, when Conor McGregor fights, but see, they got names still that crosses over into households that people who are non-sports or non-boxing or non-combat sports fans recognize. Or people are talking about so much that they're like, I got to see this guy. They don't have that right now. The best fight that night, the other night, was the women's match. It exposed us to that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, she was robbed. I told you that night 2 people were robbed. The lady who, I can't think of her name right now, she lost the match. She was robbed. Serrano. And I was robbed in my time. I was robbed in my time, even though it was free. That's it.
Yeah, and we have Fury Usyk too coming up in a month.
But once again, nobody knows that. It used to be. I would think the closest fighter used to be the Bronze Bomber, where you would see the Bronze Bomber, and he's been losing lately, and he probably needs to retire. He's not the best boxer in the world, Deontay Wilder. Mm-hmm. He had.
I'd like to watch him fight Jake Paul, to be honest.
That would be pretty good.
No, it wouldn't.
That would be. Why not? I want to see it. I mean, why not? Why not?
I want to see Jake Paul get his, to be honest.
Then you would enjoy it.
I want to see Wilder knock his ass out.
Can I tell you that's the reason why a lot of people watch Floyd fights?
Yeah, we talked about it earlier.
Yeah. You watch Floyd's fights to see, because half of them disliked them. They wanted to see. That's why a lot of people back in the day, as much as Muhammad Ali is revered today, people have revisionist history. Because when Ali was in his prime, half the people hated Ali. half of the people hated Ali because of a lot of things he stood for, changed his name, didn't fight in the Olympics. They called him a draft dodger, all that type of stuff like that. He was a black man who believed in himself and all that type of stuff like that when we was in that time, still in that time now, but I'm saying it's different. So they hated him. So it was almost like you got to be a heel, but also polarizing in a sense. Mm-hmm. You get somebody that's polarizing, somebody that, half the audience wants to see you get beat. And that's why Jake Paul's good, because Jake Paul is not liked. Paul is not liked. Jake Paul's got a lot of followers and a lot of people that like him.
He's not liked by people of our age.
He's not liked by people of our age.
Yeah.
He's not. But he's a brilliant businessman, and I respect what he's built. But once again, if you're saying you want to be a legitimate boxer, fight somebody legit.
Yeah, fight legit boxers.
Fight legit boxers. But if you want to just make money, go ahead and make money. I'll watch. I mean, if it's something, like I said, if he fights Deontay Wilder, well, I'll watch. I'll sit there and watch Netflix freeze again. That'll work.
Buffering.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku Channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.